If you live in the state of Oregon and you are not currently aware of the increased crimes that have come to light regarding child SA in the past several days to several weeks, you need to follow me. There's a lot of information that I am going to share, and some of it has honestly just kind of left me shook, and I will probably be trauma dumping a little bit during this as I try to explain quite a lot that I think all Oregonians need to be aware of. Please excuse me, I am just a bit shaken as I continue to put pieces together and read articles and hear from parents and students and alumni and teachers and officials. I just want to do a trigger warning as well, and just viewer discretion is advised, just because there's going to be a lot that I'm about to cover, and it's very, very important that you watch the entire video. For those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Cherish Nunnally. In 2018, I put this man in prison for child SA that happened when I was in high school. He was arrested on the Beaverton High School campus, and he was working for Astoria High School when my assault, as well as another child's assault, took place. Something that I'm starting to realize that isn't very well known about this case in general, and it's one of the reasons why I'm coming forward and why I'm just kind of shaken up a little bit about it, is that a lot of these articles do not mention the following information. In a lot of the articles regarding this man, it does not tell you that he was actually a chief warrant officer of the United States Coast Guard. That means he worked on the water and on ships, and that he was an investigator for the United States Coast Guard, and he was a career military person, one of the highest ranking that you can get in the Coast Guard. Now I'm bringing this to light because what do we know about the Coast Guard? They work in the water and they work on ships. And when I tell you that I've had a lot of people reach out to me, I'm very serious in saying that. I actually had a hazmat worker reach out to me and told me that we need to be checking the Columbia River, and that he's often called to clean out containers that are filled with human feces. So I don't think that theory that's going around is too far-fetched, and you should probably keep listening. This man wasn't just a wrestling coach. He was also, and he wasn't just a chief warrant officer of the Coast Guard. He was also my foster parent and my biological cousin. I think it's important that you listen to this part because I come from a very unique family setting. Our family has come from a lot of crime. I was placed in the foster care system at 4 days old. And so when I turned about 16 or 17, there was an interstate compact done for my care between the state of California and the state of Oregon. And that is how I ended up in this man's care. I had never really met him before, even though he was my family, because I don't really know a whole lot about my family because I grew up as a foster child. Now, I think it's important that as we are continuing to go through this, that you understand that there's a lot of connections here regarding our family's past. A lot of our family grew up as products of the foster care system and products of abusive homes. My cousin went through a lot of really horrific abuse as a child, and our family was very much involved in the drug world and the selling of that stuff, and that's one of the reasons why I was not allowed in that in their presence or in their care as a child growing up. I think it's really important that you understand how deep this possibly is, because I am starting to see a lot of connections that are incredibly scary for me personally, just because of the knowledge that I have. I am bringing all of this stuff to light because there is a serious flaw here. I have been trying to raise awareness for all of these communities in the Oregon area, St. Helens and Jewel, and now it'll be probably Albany and Warrington now as well. And the reason I am doing that is because this needs to stop. There's something going on. And so I attended the Jewel meeting last night via Zoom. And one thing that they had kept bringing up was that their attorneys were going to assist with hiring a outside investigator for an unbiased report and investigation. The problem with that is the attorneys are usually, when in my experience, attorneys are hired to protect their clients. Now, one thing that I have found out is that the law firm that represents the school district actually represents all of the schools in the state of Oregon. And they use the same type of investigative team on their, payroll to do all of these investigations. And that seems a little suspicious, okay? Because how are you going to have an unbiased result in that if you are having the same people do the investigations, but then you're also having teachers asked to quietly resign and being transferred to other school districts, so you're aware that there's predatory behavior and you're still putting people at risk. Now, the thing is, attorneys are, they're mandated reporters. Lawyers are mandated reporters, but there's a flaw because they get to hide behind something called attorney-client privilege. So there is a lot to look into here. And I'm so shaken that I can't even get my thoughts straight right now as I am continuing to try and understand what it is that I am uncovering and how it relates back to my family. Because after I came forward with this situation with my cousin and I put him in prison, a lot of stuff started happening to me, and it was almost as if I was being targeted. And it was. That's basically what was happening. And not only by individuals, but by the Department of Human Services and by the family court system. And I just can't help but think maybe it's because I let them use my first and last name in the newspaper article in hopes of finding more victims. And that may have unintentionally put me in some type of danger or get some kind of eye on me, because directly following that, I had a man come into my life, and I talk about this man on my TikTok page a lot. And he was affiliated with an attorney here in Portland, and it was the same attorney that represented the stepmother for the Kyron Horman case. And he told me a lot of information about that too. And so I really just can't help but feel like maybe my family was a part of a very large situation, like a situation, like a ring of some sort, and that maybe they were a part of it and like aware of it, and that's why maybe all of that stuff has happened that I talk about in my videos. I just need to relax for a minute.